Nobody wants to sound like a robot when they speak Portuguese, but unfortunately when you learn from stuffy textbooks and audio guides, you can end up sounding a bit stiff and stilted when you speak. So how do we get around this? You need to master the everyday words that native speakers will use themselves. This will lead to a much more relaxed turn of phrase and make you sound like a local. But some of these small words are really difficult to understand and use in the correct way. So in today's video, I am talking you through the 3 small but very tricky words, já, cá, and lá, and helping you use them in your everyday speech. If you've always wondered how to use these words correctly, give this video a like, make sure that you have hit subscribe, because this channel is all about practical Portuguese in plain English. So if you need more of that, you need to stick around. So first of all, let's discuss the word já. It can be really confusing to understand whether this means now, already, or very, very soon. The truth is, it kind of means all of those things. You just have to know how to use it correctly. So the most common use of já is when it means already. And this is when we are going to put it before the verb. So for example, já comecei o trabalho. I've already started the work. You can also use it like this. Já fui ao Brasil. I've already been to Brazil. Now, I just want to explain, this is where a lot of people make mistakes, because in English we say, I have been. So people think that they need to put the verb ter in these situations, but you actually don't. You just need to use the past tense. Fui. Já fui ao Brasil. I have already been to Brazil, even though the exact translation would be, I already went to Brazil. Or if you want to simply say to someone, I'm already here. Já estou. So that's what it means if we put it before the verb, but when we put it after the verb, it's going to change the meaning very slightly, and instead of meaning already, it's going to mean now, or very, very, very soon. So for example, vou já à loja. I'm going to the shop now or very, very soon. Vamos comer isso já. Let's eat that right now. So you can see that the important thing to remember is the position of where it's going to go in the sentence. That's going to give us a clue as to what it actually means in that context. The final way to use já, which is a little bit more complicated, and you're just going to have to listen out for and copy this. This is when it's going to be more expressive or part of an expression. So for example, you could say, já percebi. This literally means I already understood, but the expression that you're trying to give here is actually, okay, I understand, I get it now. Or you could say, já chega. That's enough already. One that I often use, já estou farta disto. No, I'm sick of this now. So you can see that it still means this kind of combination of already or now, but these are kind of set phrases that you can learn that will make you sound really Portuguese. Let me know in the comments if you have noticed any more expressions that include já. If this is useful, you might want to check out my other videos about how to sound natural in Portuguese. I cover slang and filler words, so I'm going to link that playlist next, so make sure you check it out. And of course, helping you understand the real-life Portuguese that you hear on the street is a key component of my free lesson for beginners. The link is in the description. If you haven't been already, I promise it will be the best 60 minutes you spend learning Portuguese, so check that out. The next word I get asked about all the time, and it's the word cá. Now, it does mean here, so how is it different to the word aqui? Well, the best way to describe it is that aqui is going to be something that is very, very specific, whereas cá is going to be more general. So, for example, aqui em casa, but cá em Portugal. So, a sentence I might say would be, ele já chegou cá, a Portugal, mas ainda não está aqui. The other big difference is that if you were to say a phrase like anda cá, it's much more informal, okay? You wouldn't say that to somebody official or someone older than you. You'd be much more polite and say venha aqui. But if you're talking to dogs or your children, for example, it's very common to hear people shouting this, anda cá. The same goes for the word lá. How is this different to the word ali if it means there or over there? So the distinction that we can think of is that Ali is when the thing you're talking about is in the sight of the person, but lá is when it's not, okay? So it might be talking about a different city, a different location, something that you can't see. But lá is used a lot in these expressive sentences, just like we had for já. So let's take a look at some of those. We can add it to a sentence to express disdain. So for example, quero lá saber. I don't even want to know. Or if we're being rude about saying that we don't know something, sei lá. I don't know. It's kind of rude. We can also use it when we are in a hurry and we're kind of really wanting somebody to come on and being a little bit aggressive about it. So you can say, anda lá, come on. Or maybe to your kids, come lá, hurry up and eat it. But it can be used in a softer tone as well if you're simply just requesting someone to do something. So for example, if you're at the shops and they're asking if you want to put your contribuinte on the factura, and you say yes, they might say diga lá, which means go ahead and tell me. A really common one if you are trying to convince someone to do something would be vá lá, come on, let's do it. So mastering very small words like this can make a very big difference to your Portuguese and make you sound so much more natural and like a local. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Make sure you give it a like if you did, and join me next week for more tips and tutorials to build your confidence and conversation skills in Portuguese. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss a thing. Ciao for now.